How about YouTube today? I would have done something on this truck a little sooner, but we've had nothing but really vicious winds, hail, snow. I mean, one minute it's like 60, 65 degrees like it is now, and the next minute it's like 35, 40. We've had temperature variations up here, like 20 to 30 degrees, okay, within maybe an hour or two. 20 to 30 degrees in an hour or two. Not normal. Let's pick up where we left off with this truck, okay? So, I went over with you guys. That's why I always keep junk spark plug wires. Now, here comes the helicopter to make noise. This medevac's been busy lately. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I keep junk parts. I keep coils, and that's not the medevac. That is state police. Uh-oh. With a great big radar gun on the back of it. Wonderful. Okay. For the third time, I keep junk parts. Spark plugs, stuff that I know is still good. Sometimes I do a tune-up. It's requisited by the customer. Just replace it. I just bought it. I rip the stuff out and find out it's like new yet. But I mean, it was a requisite. Now, I'm not that busy. We're going to have a video on Lehigh Valley Hospital. So we deduced that the lifters were working. They were bringing oil up. So I don't have a collapsed lifter. And I also showed you how if you got a stuck lifter to shoot transmission fluid down there, find those little holes, and put a little air down there, 5, 10, 15, 20 pound at the max. Don't blow the lifter apart. Also clean out your push rods with carb cleaner and compressed air. Okay? So now you're still running with a miss, and you've deduced that it's not the plug, it's not the wire, it's not the coil. Well, then it's your fuel injectors. And in this case, the proof is in the pudding. She really runs smooth, and she really runs good. Real powerful. This thing, it really spun it. It really shocked me from the way it had been running. But I mean, she really tore out of the driveway here. And I mean, she's got 2-year-old gas in her, almost 3 years old. But anyway, we no longer have an obnoxious. She's not trying to do the Mexican hat dance and the cucaracha all at once, because that's the way the engine was running. Okay. Now, when she gets off a high idle, she smooths out. Like I said, it really impressed me. But okay, so that's how you deduce whether you have a bad lifter. Because a lot of people, you go to these places and they're going to tell you your engine is bad, and you end up sometimes selling your truck to their buddy that puts it right back and knows right what was wrong with it. Okay, now. Let's pick up where we left off about them fucking eggheads and idiots there at Summit and Jegs and that. Okay? I'm going to show you guys on this Ford that's still sitting here over a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, waiting for a part. Because these nuggets, they sell half the shit you need to do a job. Not to mention, there's no intuitive on how to do a job. It's why I compliment YouTube at times, and for everybody putting up with me sometimes, my condescending attitude. As I said, that was my job as a flight wing commander, okay? I know what's wrong. I don't know about something. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. This is an AN fitting, okay? Or you can call it JIC. I think JIC is Japanese International. But anyway, this is a gravity-fed fitting. So, just like Orange Cat was up in a tree the other day, he's getting like a clawfoot bathtub, okay? Your fuel tank is like a clawfoot bathtub. Now, when he fell out of the tree yesterday, before the one mess he caused, okay, when he fell out, he was like an inverted bathtub, clawfoot bathtub. He come down and went, boom, shit. It was first time I was busting a gut, and he's hiding underneath the truck over there like, you didn't see that. I saw every minute of it. 3-4 hours later, I had a bunch of parts stacked up, and I had my box of sockets there. So he jumps off the workbench, jumps on, and it was like a seesaw. And the sockets go flying all over, the box flips over and slaps him right in the head. And I, shit! Then he was in the shop and he finally laid down. I guess, you know, it's like, what can we screw with next? How can we get your... He's always pining for my attention. I'm surprised he's not up here on the truck. I have another video, and I wished I had video editing, because he got right here. That was right after he got done with his deviltry. And then he got up on the truck and he's like trying to apologize to me. So your fuel tank is like a orange cat or the bathtub. So your fuel is going to pass over this. So how do you stop that? Okay, because that's another way. It's another form of inversion. Okay, even though it's supposed to be gravity fed, that fuel is constantly moving and there's nothing there to stop it unless you put something there. This is how guys like me won races back in the day. When everybody else's fuel would be up in one corner of the fuel tank, they hadn't quite figured out. That's where you put your fuel fitting, and then you put something like this. This is a baffle I made. So this is going to go in the tank, and it's going to get cut. The middle's going to be standing, and these edges are going to kind of be peened over. And then I'm going to show you which direction, okay? Your vehicle has inertial force, kinetic force. Kinetic, okay, means natural forces, just so you know. Ergonomic is adjusted forces, because we did a lot of that with aircraft, okay? You have to know physics, okay? And that's why I said, like I said, I compliment YouTube, because every now and then you can learn something off of a guy if you pay attention, and especially if you need to put a system, because I'm waiting for the Jegs and Summit can sell this. See, I need that 90-degree piece. This is going to be 90 degrees, and I'm going to show you where I put this in the fuel tank, what is your optimum spot in a street vehicle to put this, okay? Because it is important. And I would actually, the Nissan's draining. I got to do CV axles, so it's going to be a couple days till I get around. And it's going to be, I guess tomorrow is Good Friday, so to everybody, happy Easter. This is my Easter video to you. Enjoy your Easter holiday, and buy a big old case of beer. You know, just sit back. So if you're going to do this summer for yourself, okay, gravity-fed fuel systems and stuff, they should be making these parts that you can just buy it in a kit. And I think they, you know, they were trying to sell me parts. There is no sizes with it. It's just a picture of it, and it might say 3/8. Doesn't say whether it's 3/8 NPT, 3/8 JIM, you know, or JIC, the Japanese, and it doesn't. You get no effing specs. You don't even know if it's inside diameter half the time or outside. Now, if you go down to a bearings and drives place where they have stuff for hydraulics, even those books are a little sketchy. The guy was like, "Yeah, you're right." I showed him a 30-year-old book I had of JIC fittings, listed inside diameters, outside diameters, and not in metric, in SAE. There was a metric prefix. There's a little star, and it says go down the bottom with that little star, and then you'll see the metric. I said, they're getting lazy. They're getting lazy. And the people that worked with that stuff, in other words, if you work with it every day, you know, you kind of know what it is. But if you're a guy like me that hasn't worked with it for a few years, and you walk in there, as much as you might think that you know, older guys like me, we know everything. That's something that I kind of know about, but I don't know everything. Unlike the Silverado, that I knew exactly what was wrong with this motor. Because like I said, it was unmanageable the way it was. And as far as I'm concerned, maybe the tuner gave me a few perks, because like I said, it really took off. I don't know how it's going to be once it gets hot and on the road, but the engine, I've plenty of compression and stuff like that. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy my videos. And yeah, the Orange Cat, he's really been on a tear with me, distracting me from my duties and the weather, as my lip is still swollen. I came out the other day, I had some trash, and I had a whole bunch of limbs here from trees that came down to burn up. And well, I was going to get the opportunity. The next day it was supposed to be sort of a little calm. That's when I tried to do the video, when Orange Cat was doing all of his antics to me. Anyway, I got hit with a piece of hail right in the lip, and it's still tender there. But I mean, it was a good piece size of hail. And thank God I'd thrown blankets over the car here, pinned them in with the doors. I mean, hell with the rain if it gets wet inside. I mean, this old sheet metal, like I mean, this truck, it's my tank. The red Ford there, that metal's so heavy, you're not going to, unless you have baseball size hail, you're not going to dent that steel in that truck. So that is my explanation of fuel systems and why it's important how could I say, to pay attention to guys like me, because you can learn things necessarily that you won't learn from somebody else. But if you're going to use a gravity-fed fuel system, okay, it's not your lawn tractor with a small contained tank where there's constant fuel pressure. You're going to get down below a quarter of a tank, or down to a quarter of a tank, and that's where you start losing that ergonomic force of the fuel. That's where you got to put something in there to slow that kinetic energy. You got to make it an ergonomic energy. You got to convert the energy of the fuel from passing over this fitting, okay? Hopefully I've substantially explained it. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And if you need rust proofing, if you need body panels up here, some paint work in Pennsylvania, I canceled my surgery, all because of, we're going to do the Lehigh Valley Hospital. Hazleton has really turned into the asshole of the world. And our A&A Auto Parts, most of them folded up here in Pennsylvania. You see, that's what happens when you accept corporate welfare and you hire people too dumb to understand and speak and comprehend English, okay? Oh, here's the orange demon. He's right here. What are you gonna? What I don't know. I gotta go and get my crucifix. Okay, guys. So, yeah, this area is Pennsylvania is turning into the asshole of the world, especially the Hazleton area and stuff here. It's just not what it used to be. Thanks for watching my videos. Any questions, like I said, on feeding these fuel systems and so forth in a fuel tank, and Jegs Summit, please wise up. Sell everything to everybody in a box, or if you want something, if you want one of those fittings and you want everything that you need to come out of your fuel tank at a 90 degree, okay, fine. It's not that Mickey Mouse stuff that Summit sold me. They didn't, like I said, Summit, most of the guys I talked to didn't even have a clue what I'm talking about. The others that I did talk to, well, they knew what I was talking about, but they couldn't find what I needed. You know, it gets bad. Thanks, guys.